name's Plus Size Luxury, and today we're doing sort of like a remix on two really popular topics that are going around in the luxury community. I was tagged, I think about 3 or 4 weeks ago, on luxury items that I've fallen out of love with. And I also noticed that a lot of people like to do videos on items they've sold and why. To me, those are very similar topics, so that's what we're going to talk about today. So let's jump right in. Just have my handy dandy notebook, which we'll be referring to. So the first item I wanted to bring up, I used to have a Chanel walk, a wallet on chain. It was from the Cuba collection. It was denim, like in an army green color with like cute little pins across it. I'll pop up a picture. I had that for about, I would say, a year, and it was one of my first luxury items, and I wore it out, pretty frequently. But, when you use an item, you sort of see like, is this functional? Is this wearable? Can it work for me? And honestly, it didn't work for me. It is just too small. I even bought one of those, I think you can get like a base expander so you can get like the full width of the bag available to you. And even just like my phone, my keys, and a pair of sunglasses, which I think are like the bare minimum I carry, it was just, yeah, it just didn't fit. It was just it seemed like it was pulled taut when I was clasping it again. The chain drop of the walk is really good. I think it's between 22 or 23 inches for any people that are plus size or extra tall. That definitely works. I just felt like, again, the capacity was too limited for even casual use, maybe for an evening, but because the style of the walk that I purchased was denim and more casual, it just seemed too small. Then I wouldn't bring it to sort of like events or anything like that. So that's just my opinion on it. But also now I think it's about $26.50 in the US, and personally I think that's way too much for what you're getting. I don't think they should have gone over, I'll say, $2,000, honestly, because of course you're getting like the CC and all the details and the chain and all of that, but is it worth nearly $3,000 when you can get maybe a mini for like 45 or 46, if I remember correctly? I'll pop up the cost for a mini Chanel flap. But to me, it just seems way too expensive for what you're getting. And I think I don't know, I think that $26.50 is just astronomical, but they've been having price increase after price increase. So I guess a lot of people are willing to buy at that price point. But honestly, if you go on preloved websites, particularly there's a couple on, I think, Yugi's Closet that I've seen that are around the $1,700, $1,800 mark. To me, that's more reasonable. But yeah, I just, $26.50 or whatever it is now, and even the specialty ones, like I think there's a boy version, a 19 version, a trendy version of the walk. Those go up for 3,000 plus, and I'm just like, definitely not worth it. So that's my first one. Okay, so the second thing I have here is the Dior saddle. I will actually link the video that I did on the Dior saddle. I purchased it from a local consignment shop here in Atlanta. Used it for like a day or two and realized it was just not for me. And why it wasn't for me is the shoulder drop in particular is very short. The interior is unlined. And overall, I just didn't feel as luxurious as I was expecting. Yeah, I go into full details on the reasons why I didn't care for it in my video that I'll link above. But yeah, it wasn't for me, and I don't think I'll ever repurchase it. It's just, I thought it was super cute, and it is super cute on, like, I feel like maybe smaller or petite women. But yeah, on I'm size 16, size 18, it was just, the proportions were off. It was uncomfortable to wear, and I just felt personally that it would like damage my items if I actually put my SLGs in there, like especially like my Chanel wallets and stuff like that. It was a no-go. So that's one of the things, and I quickly sold it right after, so I no longer have that item. The other thing that I have here is the Louis Vuitton mini pochette. So this one's a little bit different from the others on this list. So I had the mini pochette. I think it's so cute. I think it's adorable. Is it worth it at its price? I think it's a bit expensive for what it is, but I think on the other side of that, every LV lover needs at least one in their collection. So I actually sold mine because whenever I wanted that pop of monogram, I just reached for my pochette accessories, which I have back here. So I would just reach for that. So I felt like I want the mini pochette, but I just want it in a unique print. I'm not into the Damia Bean or Damia Zur prints. So I was hoping to get maybe something that's limited edition, and hint hint, I just actually repurchased it. Watch out for the unboxing that's coming up soon. Yeah, it's just that it's really tiny, it's really cute. You can't fit a lot in there. Some phones can fit in there, so if you want like a grab and go, that's definitely like nice for it. But when I wanted that monogram, I would just reach for my pochette accessories that had a bigger capacity, and that was it. So I'm hoping that I'll have more use out of this newer version that I bought that has more of a, I don't know, a special design on the outside, so I can say, okay, I want this look for this occasion or this outing. Whereas just having both in the mono, to me, it just seemed a little redundant. So that's why I don't have it anymore. It is very, very tiny, but in every Louis Vuitton collection, if you're like a collector, I think you need at least one. So, so the next thing that I have on this list is my Bulgari B01 ring. I recently sold that, I think about 3 months ago. So don't get me wrong, I love the B0 line, and I actually want to repurchase it. But the reason why I sold this particular ring, it was just the single B01. It wasn't the ones that are like the double rings around it. It's hard to explain. I'll pop up a picture versus the single versus the double. I think it even goes up to like a triple size that you can get to see the full design. The whole point of the B0 design was based on Rome's Colosseum, and I felt like with it being such a thin model, you didn't really get that impact in the oomph of the design. So I want to repurchase that, but I just want the wider version, and maybe I'll go for a rose gold. But yeah, so I do love the line. I love Bulgari. I think it's super underrated, but I just decided that I didn't feel like it was making enough impact in the slimmer version. And then on top of that, my mistake, I actually bought it in a size 6, and I think I just want to get it because I was going to use it as like a pinky ring, but I think I'm just going to use it in my regular size, which is a size 9, and use it on one of my ring fingers when I repurchase it. Last but not least, I actually have the LV Felici, and you're like, what are you talking about? You have one right up there. Yes, I actually did repurchase it because to me this is an event and an evening bag. I think I'll link up my unboxing and some of my rationale behind me repurchasing it. But originally I had the by the pool version with there's like an ombre or gradient design, and then also had the giant LV. So I think the Felici is fine. I actually enjoyed it, and I think it's super cute. But in that pattern and that design, it just wasn't for me. I just discovered that I'm not a fan of the giant LV pattern. I think it's a little too much. I like the smaller, I guess the normal version of the LV pattern. So that's why I went and repurchased it. The gradient was very special and unique for that collection, but it wasn't really showcased well in the Felici because of the giant monogram. You didn't really get the full effect unless you like looked at it like open, which, you know, I don't know who's going to look at it that way. So that's why I sold it. I still think, you know, I'm glad that I have one in my collection. I think I just only need one or two. It's really cute, and now I think I did some clips at a recent wedding that I attended that I can insert here. I just think it's a lovely evening bag. Definitely not a casual or daily use bag, like similar issues, like similar to the the Chanel Walker wallet on chain. So that's all of the items. I think that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 items. Okay, so that was 5 items that I've either fallen out of love with or I sold, and the reasons why behind it. I hope you like this sort of mishmash topic, and you know, this will help you make more thoughtful purchases and why I didn't like these items. Anyways, look out for my next video. Remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you next time.